Starting a business might seem like fun and games, especially if you're entering a creative space like content creation or social media. But here's the thing. No matter how casual your brand is, professionalism is the glue that holds everything together. Without it, even the most successful ventures can come crashing down. Just ask MrBeast. Despite his massive success on YouTube, he's currently caught up in the multiple of lawsuits that accuse him of running an unsafe and toxic work environments. Recently, at least 5 contestants from his Amazon Prime show, Beast Games, filed a lawsuit alleging they were treated unfairly, overworked, underfed, and subjected to sexism on set. Worse yet, the lawsuit claims the crew was working from a so-called MrBeast handbook, which allegedly encouraged immature and unprofessional behavior. That's not exactly a recipe for business success. Let's break down why professionalism matters from the very start, no matter the size or style of your business, and why a lack of it can lead to big problems, even for someone as famous as MrBeast. So, what's going on with MrBeast and Beast Games? This isn't just a small blip on the radar. It's a serious lawsuit that highlights the risks of ignoring professionalism in your business. The show, which has been billed as a reality competition with a $5 million prize, started filming this summer. But according to a lawsuit filed in California, things were far from glamorous for the contestants. At least 5 contestants have come forward, accusing the production of exploiting them by putting them in unreasonable and unsafe conditions. They were penned into enclosed spaces, underfed and overtired, all while competing in physically demanding tasks that put their safety at risk. And to make matters worse, the lawsuit claims that there wasn't enough medical staff on set to handle potential injuries. Now, you might think, I'm not running a reality show, so what does this have to do with me? But the core of the problem is the same. Whether you're managing a huge operation or just starting a small business, if you don't prioritize professionalism, things can go wrong quickly. The plaintiffs also claim that sexism and misogyny were rampant on set, and that female contestants suffered the most under these conditions. They argue that the production fostered a culture where inappropriate behavior was encouraged, and this is where the so-called MrBeast handbook comes into play. The handbook reportedly told staff to empower the boys and let the talent act foolish, even suggesting that drawing inappropriate images on whiteboards was acceptable. This might sound like it's all in good fun, but when you're running a business, especially one where people are depending on you for their safety and livelihood, that kind of mindset can lead to big problems, and in this case, lawsuits. In fact, the lawsuit accuses Amazon and the production companies linked to Beast Games of shamelessly exploiting the labor of contestants. Think about that. These companies stand to make millions off the show, but the contestants are left overworked, underfed, and underpaid for their efforts. That's a clear violation of professionalism and ethics, and it's not something you want to replicate in your own business. So, what's the lesson here? Whether you're a YouTube star with millions of followers or an entrepreneur starting from scratch, professionalism is non-negotiable. Let's look at a few specific ways you can make sure your business is built on professionalism from day one. 1. Set clear guidelines. One of the most common mistakes small business owners make, whether they're running a corner shop or managing a larger project like Beast Games, is failing to establish clear guidelines. You can't just tell your team, be professional, and expect everything to run smoothly. It's crucial to define a code of conduct, specific roles, and clear expectations for everyone involved. This doesn't mean you have to be a control freak or make things stiff and formal, but trust me, having a set of rules in place saves you from a ton of headaches down the road. Think about the MrBeast lawsuit for a second. If they had a professional playbook with detailed guidelines, rather than that chaotic MrBeast handbook, a lot of the issues could have been avoided. Contestants would have known exactly what to expect. The staff would have had more defined roles, and the whole production could have steered clear of the legal mess they're in now. So, even if you're just starting out, having those guidelines helps everyone stay on the same page and prevents confusion, conflicts, and worst-case scenario, lawsuits. 2. Prioritize safety. Whether you're managing a local bakery or launching the next big thing, safety needs to be at the top of your list. Nobody wants to work or participate in an environment where they feel unsafe, physically or mentally. Take the Beast Games fiasco, for instance. Contestants complained about being pushed into physically exhausting challenges without enough medical support. And this wasn't some low-budget show. This was Amazon Prime, one of the biggest platforms in the world. If safety can be overlooked at such a high level, it's a reminder to all of us, starting smaller businesses, that we cannot afford to ignore it. From making sure your team has the proper training to ensuring your workspace is up to code, safety should be non-negotiable. Something as simple as regular breaks or checking on mental well-being can go a long way. Not only does it help your business thrive, but it also keeps you out of serious legal trouble. 3. Create a positive work environment. One of the worst parts of MrBeast Game's lawsuit was the toxic work culture that contestants described, full of sexism and disrespect. When the environment is that hostile, it kills motivation and makes people feel undervalued. And honestly, in your own business, a bad work culture can bring everything down: productivity, morale, and even your reputation. No matter how small your team is, focus on creating a positive, inclusive work environment from the start. It doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure people feel heard, respected, and appreciated. If you address issues like harassment or discrimination early and openly, you will build a place where people want to work, and that positive energy will radiate through your brand. And trust me, customers and clients pick up on that vibe too. 4. Lead by example. Here's the thing. Your business will reflect your behavior. If you're cutting corners, acting unprofessionally, or even just being disorganized, your team will follow suit. In the case of MrBeast, one big complaint was that the MrBeast handbook encouraged immature, reckless behavior for the sake of content. That kind of attitude can lead to bigger problems, especially when people's safety and well-being are involved. When you're leading your own business, even if it's just you and a couple of people, setting the right example is everything. Be the professional you want your team to be. This doesn't mean you can't have fun, but when it comes to handling your business, show that you're serious. This creates a solid foundation and sets the tone for everyone else to follow. 5. Invest in proper training and resource. A huge lesson from MrBeast Games is the lack of proper preparation. Contestants were left without enough medical staff to handle injuries, which shows a lack of care and professionalism. If you're running a business, even if it's just starting out, don't skimp on training or resources. Make sure your team, or even just yourself, is well equipped to handle whatever comes up. From making sure you've got safety measures in place to providing ongoing professional development, these investments show that you care about the people involved and that you're in it for the long haul. People will notice when you prioritize their well-being, and in return, you'll see more loyalty, better performance, and a thriving business. At the end of the day, the MrBeast lawsuit is a wake-up call for anyone thinking about starting a business, big or small. No matter how creative or successful your brand becomes, if you don't have professionalism at the core, you're going to run into problems, whether it's legal trouble, bad press, or just unhappy employees. So, if you're starting out, take this advice seriously. Set clear expectations, make safety a priority, and build a positive, professional environment right from the beginning. It might not sound as fun as the crazy stuff you see online, but being professional is what will keep your business running smoothly and help you avoid costly mistakes down the road. And trust me, you'll thank yourself later when your business is thriving and you're not dealing with a lawsuit because you took the time to do things right. Stay tuned because there's so much more to learn about building a business the right way.